Hello! This is part 2 of the Deadmines. Welcome, welcome. Just finished the second boss and we're going to go into the next tunnel. Now, the interesting mechanic here is the Defias Blood Wizards. They do a special, I don't know, area buff thing that whoever's in the buff gains damage buff. That makes no sense. Hang on, let me explain that again. Here, that red big dome. Whoever steps in that, they get a damage buff, so they deal more damage. And you've got to be mindful of that because you don't want, obviously, the monsters in that, but it's fine for you to be in that. So there's a little bit of positioning you have to worry about. Is that a new stealth animation? That's interesting. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty much simple. These are like roguish, deal a fair amount of damage, so you have to watch out for that. I've got to stop rubbing my hands. It's just, I'm sure you can hear that. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. These guys. It's quite a big group here, so you're probably going to take a lot of damage. It's all about positioning at this bit. It's quite good practice actually, this dungeon. It's really good. They've done a good job, I think anyway. Yep, so you notice I try and step into this area here, so I get this buff, and try and keep them away so they don't get it. He's in it, but the other one isn't, so that's cool. Increases your damage by 25%, which is good. That's a nice little buff, that. When you get to this point, click on the cannon and it opens the door. It's pretty self-explanatory. And more mobs that come charging through. This can be a bit tricky if you don't have enough rage, so try and make sure you have some rage if you can. Just get that thunderclap, because there's nothing worse than like 4 or 5 mobs just charging at you and you've got no rage. They just go everywhere. Yeah, the wizards actually go down quite quickly. So I'll step into the buff area. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Make sure everyone's okay. This part's quite interesting. Again, make sure you've got that that option in the first one. Oh my god, I'm so bad with memory. Anyway, turned on because you can't see where the cannonballs land. Basically, where you see the burnt ground, that's where cannonballs just kind of, you know, hit the ground. And if you're in that area when they hit, it will actually fling you off the side into the water. And that's not very good. The first couple of times I did this dungeon, I didn't have that option enabled, so I didn't know what was going on. I just kept walking and kept being flung across. It was quite unnerving. Yeah, so basically go across once the cannonballs hit, just after, and you should be fine. And I'm actually going to wait here until the cannonball hits there. Okay, so it just hit and I'm off, and you're fine. I usually wait here just to make sure everyone's made it through, especially the healer. And everyone did, so that's good. So all these are melee mobs, so although they do tend to like jump around everywhere, which isn't very helpful. And this mob actually bugged out, so I'm like, okay, I'll just leave that alone. And it hops back into the fray. Standard thing with any melee mobs: rend them, thunderclap them, keep shield spamming, and you're good. Make sure you have your cooldowns done and everything. It's very close to the end boss now. You just have to make your way up this ship, and it's all good. It's all gravy. Let me know actually. Do you prefer these complete run-throughs, or would you prefer kind of a sped up version? You know, kind of like Will does. Because for me it's quite easy to edit, you know, you just put everything in and just let it go, and that's quite nice. But if you really want it to be cut down and condensed, just let me know, and I'll sort that out. Because there's not really much to say here for these mobs, but I don't know if you just want to have a look, see the complete dungeon, so I don't know. Just let me know, and we'll sort that out. I think this gets a bit messy actually. I just carry on, as you do as a tank, and it turns out people are being attacked further down the line. Just emphasises on how you have to keep aware as a tank. It's you know, I think that's the hardest thing to do. Once you've got the rotations down and everything, then you have to work on making sure everyone's okay. But it's worth it, I think. I do like tanking. Makes me feel powerful and strong. And then I realise here, oh, sugar nuts. As long as you do an adequate job, usually in dungeons, you know, people don't really complain. Like the amount of times I've let this happen, and people are like, you know, they just don't care. As long as they stay alive, that's pretty much all you need to worry about. As long as people stay alive in a run, that's a successful run. So we're just going up here. You can actually go into these cannons. Again, I'd never do it because I'm a tank. And you can't really tank while you're in a cannon. But I think you can deal damage to everyone, so the DPS often hop in there and they just shoot cannons, which is quite fun. I don't know if you've done the quests where you do similar things to that. So yeah, so I like how they've put these little things into this dungeon just to make it a little bit more interesting. I think it's really cool. Okay, this is the last set of mobs before the boss. Ooh, another upgrade. I'll take that, thank you very much. I'm not too worried about just one elite mob just wandering around because they die pretty fast and the DPS were fine. And plus we've got quite a competent healer, so to be honest, healers probably enjoy that they've got a little bit more variety than just healing a tank in a dungeon. So I let them run wild. I'm purposely a bad tank just so they have more fun. So the healer's asking for an MB, which is a mana break, which basically means stop please, I want mana, wait till I have mana please. So I'm going to wait until she has a fair amount of mana and then I'm going to go charging in, keeping her eye on her mana there, just looking at it. Yep, looking at it. There we go, looks like she's ready, so I'm going to charge in. This guy is quite interesting. Introduces phasing, the first boss that uses phasing. Basically just keep attacking him and at certain intervals he'll disappear and you'll see this fog, and through the fog you'll have little mobs which are non-elite, so they don't do a lot of damage, but as I've figured out with this run through, they could actually in theory kind of gather up and be quite problematic. So try and deal with them if you can. I mean, don't worry that they're not on you all the time because they do go down quite quickly. But you notice he comes back quite quickly. So if you had all three of those mobs up at one time plus him, it could get a little bit hairy. So be aware of that. I'm just trying to wait until more spawn and then I thunderclap. Just to try and get them on me. See, I don't know if they've changed this because I've never had this problem before where we've had these monsters in addition to the boss when he appeared again. But he's going down quite fast. Disappears again there. Oh goodness me. There we go. I think this should be the final time. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe he goes and disappears when he gets to a certain amount of health and we are DPS him down quite quickly. Ooh, blimey. Don't actually know about this this storyline because I don't really play Alliance usually anyway. So anyway, this is the final boss. This is like a bonus boss, as you will. It's quite an interesting one. It's almost a little bit pointless. You almost are definitely not going to die. And basically, this little Murloc dude, he throws food out of the cauldron, and you have different sorts. You have good food and bad food, and you notice there's a rotten corn on the floor. If you eat the good food by right clicking on it, you get a buff, like a haste buff, so you can cast and attack quickly. And if you eat the bad food, you get something bad. And I don't tend to eat the bad food because I don't want a bad tummy ache. No. It's quite easy. I think it's just a bit of, you know, just to release some aggression, some pent up, I don't know. I could have done with that cloak, but I didn't actually win it. but it turns out that there's quite a good reward for completing that quest. So I just get the cloak on this, and that would be Deadmines. That's your run through. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything I can improve on. Yeah, so cool. Thanks for watching. Achievements, yay. Just equipped in everything. Everything that I've picked up. It's a good improvement. Nothing interesting. You don't have to keep watching. Nothing interesting at all. Thanks, guys. See ya. Smiley face. Okay, and that's it. That is actually it. There we go. No, no.